Many times I meet people that I remember that 15 years ago they looked older than they look today. Today they look younger, with tighter skin, with a smile. It really influences your mood, turns out. By the way, something very interesting, many women testify that after they had the operation, as if it solved all the problems they had till then on the psychological level with self-confidence. This woman once told me, I went to the shrink for 20 years and the operation solved the problem in half an hour. I have confidence, everything, life seems much better. So, when we really look at this phenomena, you, from your point of view, how do you see this phenomena, and why do we have a desire, or aren't we satisfied by what nature gives us, but we have a desire to feel more complete through these different corrections we perform on ourselves? First of all, our desire to live an eternal life is natural. It's natural for a person because if there's death and it's unknown what comes after that, and we see that we stop living, and even though that our existence here and what we call this life, this world, isn't that great, but still, with all the bother and that we're all the time running around, nervous, and so on, still, it's better than zero and darkness and nothing. Nothingness. From existence to absence to non-existence. And we don't want it. And regardless what form of life it is, there is a protective force inside a person that he wants to keep on living. And we see it even on people that are in some work camp, or regardless in what conditions. And of course, especially in our times, there are many people that put an end to their life. It's a phenomena that we'll talk about separately, but actually the natural protective force in a person is that he keeps life. He wants to continue life as much as possible, if not for the great suffering that comes, and then he's ready to get rid of the suffering, even though that it also means getting rid of life. But then he agrees, but not otherwise. So this is what we see, and therefore it's something natural. The matter of beauty, of force, self-appreciation, self-esteem, confidence, is very important for us in life. We invest a lot of efforts into it, a lot of money in order to have a social status. I could have been a simple worker someplace, or work third of the time I work and provide only the basic needs, but so that I won't be less than my neighbor or less than the others, and I could be proudful towards others that I have a car and I'm dressed this or that way. A person puts lots of efforts into it. And of course here there's also the matter of the external beauty, the bodily beauty, besides all these things that I make sure that will belong to me and give me a social status, a good and nice social status. Were I not living in human society, then I wouldn't have really been concerned about it, for sure. I'd keep my life, but only on the very basic level. My whole life I'd walk around in my jammies, in something soft and warm and nice and comfortable. And this is also how I would build my environment. But because there is the matter of pride here, value towards others, so I care for it, meaning that I'm sure that were we not living in a competitive society, then neither women and all the more men would have thought about their external appearance. This is a matter of society. Why wasn't it so needy before and now it is? Because we're developing, our ego is developing, and we're coming to a state where really now our ego demands more connection to the bodily, corporeal life. And our ego wants to resemble the spiritual world in this corporeal life. What do you mean? I'll explain.
אנחנו נמצאים בהתפתחות האגואיסטית
We are in an egoistic development.
בצורה כזאת שהאגו
We're developing
שמתפתח
egoistically such that the ego that develops brings us to its state where it wants to tell us, I will give you the best possible life, an eternal life. I'll give you a life that you'll enjoy life and you'll be beautiful and strong and so on in the eyes of everyone. Why? Because the general process of our development, according to our program, to the program that's constantly realizing in us, the process is to bring us to a state where we have to rise to a different level of development, to a spiritual level, to live as forces and spirit, and not as protein bodies that achieve life only through their body. And in order to bring us to a higher level, to the spiritual level of existence, then first of all, we have to be brought to a state where we will see that our bodily existence is a big loss. It can't provide us neither an eternal life nor a good life, where all these things actually don't give us anything.